Hey everybody, today is July 8th, 2022. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And welcome to Hanging with Uncle.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. It's been definitely an interesting week, ups and downs, lefts and rights, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely been busy for me, honestly. It's been a lot going on with just work and things changing, honestly. So life, is moving forward.
Man.
Definitely.
And I'm glad you say that because again, we've been doing this now for about 18 months, and that's what this show is kind of about. It's life from the point of view from people who are never talked about. These are the things that we're going through and how decisions made by elected officials impact us. So if you're listening out there, we'd love to hear your opinion on what you guys have to say.
Absolutely, yeah. We want you guys to be a part of the conversation. We want to know what you guys want to hear us talk about, and just kind of include just our opinion, our spin, I like playing devil's advocate, I guess you're going to say, and on your take, and maybe help you think a little differently too, But, we have a bud today called
Nasty Girl.
It's pretty good, honestly. That's my turn. I need to pick it up.
Yeah, normally we do indicas around here, but this is a good sativa. I thought we'd, change it up. And it's pretty good. And it's also Friday. Don't forget to pay yourself if you haven't already.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you pay yourself. And I got to do a little voting today for one of our investments.
Yeah.
Sundial did a vote based off that they wanted us to do, look into like the reverse split,
right?
And also about their name change too, which is also kind of like a big deal too. Like out with the old, in with the new, kind of a new step into where they're going, I guess.
With how big they're growing, it makes sense. All they're doing is adding the name Incorporated, and the ticker symbol won't change.
Yeah, they're not just one thing. They're hopping into multiple different spaces. So I honestly feel like it's a good deal for them to just be SNDL, which doesn't really signify anything.
Yeah.
But it signifies their company, basically.
And now that the quarter is over, I hope that they come out with the earnings report with a full quarter of Alcana revenue on there.
Absolutely, yeah, because we're talking about pot being a huge thing. Pot is definitely the future. We've talked about it multiple times on our show, and yeah, it's a growing industry for sure. And this company it will have its moment, definitely. Well, hopefully. I'm hoping for it, at least.
It's like what we talked about with the Boardwalk Empire thing, and Prohibition. I believe we're on the cusp of having it legalized in some form or fashion, even if it's just, say, for banking. And that will have a very big impact on the market. So
absolutely, yeah.
I'm holding.
No, absolutely. Same. Hold on to your investments out there. Believe in what you're doing. Look into the facts. Look into the information. And get your money out there. Honestly, ChargePoint had a really big deal with their asking for more money so they can invest more. Basically, nice. I don't know if you saw that too, but clean energy is a big deal. Where that's something that everyone's looking into now. There's a lot of bright opportunities out there for you to invest and pay yourself. Definitely, check out. Honestly, just check it out. Just don't go to Robinhood, like we say.
Fuck Robin Hood.
Like we say that all the time. The reverse split's a different thing though. I wanted to talk about that and kind of throw my pitch and my idea about it. So to my understanding is they cut the shares in half for money towards them to increase the money value. So it's kind of taking our volume and adding to their volume in a way to essentially, I guess. I don't know. I'm not entirely educated on it. Again, I'm not a professional.
Think of it like a squeeze.
Yeah.
So if you have
causing their own.
If you have 20 shares and they do a 20-to-1 split, now you have one share.
Yeah.
But the value of that share has
increased
grown
by 20. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. 20 to 1.
It impacts your dollar amount zero. It's still worth the same thing. It's just now it will be in compliance, so it won't be delisted from the NASDAQ. And now, just me personally, I can't wait to see the Alcana figures thrown in with the Q2 earnings.
Definitely, because that's going to be the big turn on it too. Definitely, is where's the new new revenue coming in? How's it affecting the stock? How's it affecting the company? Essentially, that because like if this merger happens, like we've talked about it before, the future is bright with marijuana. Not only that, but just like the industry itself, like they're looking into transport, like delivery. They're looking into making distillates with it, like drinks, alcoholic drinks, and marijuana drinks at the same time, like that kind of stuff. Like
they make edibles. I don't see why not.
Right, like that'd be awesome. Honestly, try it out. But like they're doing something that's revolutionary in a space that is already legal, but where they're able to do these things. But they're basically doing their practice there, is what it seems, because. I mean, they're waiting. They've said it before in small little interviews that they're waiting for the U.S. to open its doors to weed a little bit more before they hop into our space. Yeah, I mean, they are technically through banking.
Well, and they're also going to be supplying to Europe.
Yep.
With the Zenobis, I think they acquired Zenobis, and that's more growing, and that's part of the European distribution. So
when you spend money, you don't have money, do you? So. They're spending right now.
Again, it's like that game that Munch taught me, Adventure Capitalist.
Yeah.
Where you just watch everything grow and you spend.
Yeah. But then you invest in some more.
But it increases the rate of value of your investments.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Tom. The cat's right underneath me. But yeah, I mean, just... we've talked about it. Quantity over
quality.
Quantity over quantity over quality. But then the quality comes later when you have the quantity, because then the quantity helps you spend into the quality.
You're able to do more things.
That is kind of the path that Sundial's going down. You know, a lot of people did complain about them not having the best weed about a year ago. Remember we talked about how their review ratings were so. Now they're a lot better, and they're dabbling into different fusions, different expansions, making their own strain themselves. So they're hopping into the space and doing better at it. So props to them. Again, I'm still cheering them on. Yeah. It's a long haul. So, you know, it's a long investment, but I'm still paying myself by putting it in every first of the month.
Right. So I can tell my grandkids when they say, "Papa, how'd you get rich?" I bought weed at 63 cents.
So much of it too. Like, even when I went to vote, it told me the amount of like stock I have. Like, man, I've not had that much of it in a stock before. Like, that's good. Like, it just shows that I'm doing something. I'm actively trying to do something with the money that I have saved too. By the way, that's all free money. It's all mine. Do whatever I want with it.
Right.
So it's just an extra bank account with interest, like we said.
That's all it is. It's just another account.
Yep, it's just another one.
Anyway, I think today was a huge day as far as the January 6th Select Committee goes, because the Tangerine Terror's White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, testified in front of the committee today.
Okay, so who's Pat Cipollone?
He was the White House counsel. He would be the lawyer to advise the president on choices, on, you know, give him advice on, well, if you do this, you could think of this, you know, just give him legal advice.
So Jafar, the right hand.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
The hand.
And Pat Cipollone's name has been thrown around a lot in these hearings. And just to remember, Pat Cipollone is a Trump loyalist.
Well, yes.
So, I mean, he was part of Trump's impeachment legal team on his first impeachment when they impeached him over the phone call to Ukraine. Okay. The quid pro quo. Okay. So he's been in Trump's camp for a long time. This is not, you know, some sidebar for, you know, I can see him saying, well, I barely knew the guy when he was your attorney, because that's what he does to people. Okay. So just a few things that I know of Cipollone can confirm, can codify, is that, yes, he advised the president not to go to the Capitol because he really wanted to, because you would be charged with a lot of crimes, which we heard Cassidy Hutchinson testify to last week.
Okay.
Some of those crimes were obstructing Congress in the commission of its duties, counting the Electoral College, obstruction of justice, inciting a riot. Those are just 3. He can corroborate to the scheme where Jeffrey Clark, who was an environmental attorney at the Justice Department, was trying to get the acting attorney general and deputy attorney general out so he could be attorney general, send this letter to the swing states, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, saying that they found irregularities in the ballot, and that would give justification for, his allies in Congress to do what they did to object to the certification of those elections.
Okay.
So Cipollone can testify to that, because his comment was, according to Cassidy, you'll be committing mass suicide or something like that if you send this letter. Legal suicide. Something to those effects. I'm paraphrasing.
Right, yeah.
So he's that important. He is the fly on the wall, the one you never hear about. But he's the one who is advising the President of the United States, just like John Dean was President Nixon's White House counsel. And you saw how Watergate went.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Nixon had to resign, and
it became a history book thing you learn in school.
I mean, so if Watergate was so bad, remember the Attorney General went to jail. The Chief of Staff went to jail. I forget what other one of his aides. G. Gordon Liddy, all these people went to jail. The only reason Nixon didn't go to jail was because Ford pardoned him.
Of course he did. Wait, so he's the pardon thing, man.
Yeah. So in other words, so when Nixon resigned the presidency, the vice president takes his spot. So Gerald Ford, a Republican, now has the power of the pardon. So before charges could be brought against him, because they were coming, Gerald Ford issued a pardon to Richard Nixon, and that's why he was never prosecuted.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. So, wow, I never knew that. That's interesting. Okay. I mean, it sounds like just the hearing's getting to the beginning, honestly. Like, if you're just starting with, like I said, the Jafar of the group, the hand of it.
The hand,
He's just the guy who whispers in Trump's ear, I guess, if you look at it. So
the night of January 5th, before the insurrection, they had the War Room meeting at the Willard Hotel, where Steve Bannon was, and Roger Stone, and Michael Flynn, and, John Eastman, and Giuliani, and a few other people. And Cipollone was there in the White House with Trump while that was going on, giving him advice on what to do, what not to do, things like that.
Okay.
Now, that might be considered privilege. I don't know, because that's his direct advice to the president.
Right.
But the point is, he was still there, and he can corroborate so much of Trump's criminal activity that he committed knowingly and willingly with the specific intent to do what happened. This is a huge break for the committee. And personally, when I'm watching on Tuesday, I hope that comes up, because Tuesday is supposed to cover the coordination of the conspiracy between Trump and the white nationalist groups like the Oath Keepers, the Proud Boys, the Three Percenters, and whoever else, these white supremacist guys are. That's what this hearing coming up is going to be, and I wonder if Cipollone's testimony today will be relevant in that hearing.
Well, we'll see, man. Definitely, that's crazy. I didn't know that the hearing was getting so in depth, but I mean, it's not even the trial part, like you said. We talked about it earlier. Like, it's just a hearing, so there's going to be a lot more information coming out of a lot more people, because we know we know there's a lot more involved than just the people who have squeaked so far. So,
Right.
So this hearing's going to be going on for a little bit too long. But long enough to get all the information for sure. Definitely. But
I'm hoping that these transcripts of the deposition of Pat Cipollone find their way to Merrick Garland and the Justice Department and the prosecutors for the January 6th incident. And they don't have to wait for Congress to finish their hearings. They can indict him or convene a grand jury to indict him right now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to happen, right?
They're dragging their heels and acting so slowly. I doubt it. But, I mean, there's really no reason to wait anymore.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just something that, like I said, we know who is involved. They just need to squeak.
Yeah.
They just need to squeal. That's all.
And they are. And then the funny thing is, all these people that are squealing are within Trump's inner circle.
Well, of course they are.
They're the ones with the knowledge.
He was the one involved. Which makes a lot of sense. Of course. The people who aren't blinded by lies and who literally are like, oh yeah, that makes sense, logically speaking, they know people are involved in this because they know it's not just him. He's an idiot. He's not going to be able to do all that himself. He knows he needs help doing the thing he tried to do.
Yeah.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it the right way. He threw a tantrum. We all know the fact that he needed help trying to have his insurrection happen. It's just not a lot of people believed in him. The people who believed in him aren't smart either. So it's just I don't know, man. It really is just it's obvious.
I think tomorrow's hearing, basically, to put it in a legal nutshell, will prove the conspiracy to overthrow the United States government and a free and fair election.
Yeah, it's not much of a conspiracy when you know the fact. It's a fact,
and that's all it is. That's because there's only two. What are they called? Anyway, things that need to happen.
Yeah.
In order for a crime to be charged.
Right.
The elements of a crime. For conspiracy, you have to have a meeting of the minds. We agree to do this. Saying, I'm going to hit this bong, and then I'm going to pass it to you, and you're going to smoke it. Right? We're going to agree, right?
Right.
And as soon as one of us do that, now we've taken an overt act in fulfilling the completion of that goal.
Right.
That's all you have to do to prove a conspiracy. And that's what I believe tomorrow will show.
Well, like I said, yeah, it sounds like it's getting to the meat and gravy,
the nitty gritty.
Yeah, the nitty gritty.
Yeah, we're in the red zone.
We're in the red zone. Yeah, I know what that is. Or the paint. We're getting in the paint. We're going hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, good.
Or in hockey terms, we're in the crease.
Good.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, it's a good thing that we're getting to the bottom of this because it is a part of our history. It needs to be shown by facts, so even the people who believe in it can either wake up, because even then, we already know there are still going to be people who aren't going to believe the fact. So
that's because organizations like Fox and Newsmax and One American News will not air the hearings. They will not show the people. And those are the only people that aren't seeing what's happening, is because those are the networks they choose to watch, because that's their team.
Yeah, they're busy talking about how pot psychosis is making shooters violent. Huh?
Oh my God!
Well,
so
before we get to that part,
yeah, we
still have to talk about the latest shootings that have happened in our country. The first one was Highland Park, yeah.
So we had 2 4th of July shootings.
Yeah,
there was one in Highland Park, Illinois.
In Illinois, and the other one was in Philadelphia. While the fireworks were going off.
Yeah. So the noise would conceal where the shots were coming from.
Yeah, but it caused a mass panic to where it was basically a stampede of people, hospitalized people. Anyways, the largest one, of course, is the Highland Park shooting, which is now at 10, I believe, the death count, which ranges from grandparents to children to just adults out there enjoying their independence,
People.
their freedom.
Yes. There's a 2-year-old who's an orphan now.
Yeah. The shooter perched on top of a building and wore a disguise, dressed as a female. Actually walked out of the area, but they ended up catching him finally.
Dude, he drove all the way into Wisconsin and turned around and came back. He was gone.
Why did he come back? What? Anyways, never mind.
Yeah.
What? But anyways, he was captured, of course. But the one thing that grinds my gears, Gene, I'm gonna get on it, and I feel like it's a full circle because we've talked about this before. The way police handle escalated situations. I know maybe police were on site. I'm not factually in there. I'm not reporting. I don't know. I haven't dug too deep. We're just having a conversation and smoking.
These are the questions that people have.
But to me, we are approaching the actual violent crimes where people are dying in action in the way that we think we should be approaching them versus the ones that aren't so violent and escalating them to violence. There was another shooting this weekend. It's just...
This was an unarmed black man, though.
It's just, you're so numb to just bringing up any shooting, honestly. His name's Jayland Walker. Honestly, you probably didn't see headlines on it unless you actually searched his name or was anywhere close to the media on these news, on this sort of types of news, on like social media or whichever. But the police shot at this man 90 times, unarmed, and hit him 60 times.
Now, you think these are police, these are trained officers. 60 hits, that's a pretty good ratio, right?
I mean, Gene, the kid was 10 feet away, maybe 15.
So where's the other 30 rounds?
They missed, I'm sure.
What about the possible potential innocent victims that would be caused by those extra 30 rounds that missed from these trained individuals?
Exactly.
Take that word trained and stick it in your ass.
Like, my thing is we have to understand situations, and when people are running away, it's an act of, it's fear. You're running away. You know what running away is? Put yourself in a situation where you're running from something. It means it's not a situation you want to be a part of. It's a fearful situation. You don't have you're outmatched, whichever, you're gone, running.
Right.
And they shot him 60 out of 90 times. It blows my mind. You would think, I'm not wishing it upon people. I don't wish things upon people, but you would think the situations would be reversed. The man who shot up a parade would be shot at 90 times, like cops from GTA, versus the kid who is in a traffic situation.
That's because a lot of people feel that when you're wearing a badge, that's a hunting license.
It's, I don't know, man. The world's backwards in these situations. And apparently the kid who shot up the parade was on a high priority list for police in the first place.
Yeah. I know he was on suicide watch before, but he fell through the red flag laws for some reason because of, whatever they don't want to do anything about. He was still able to get that weapon.
And we don't have people actually talking about these things, but blaming it and pointing fingers on scapegoats, like, again, weed psychosis.
I don't want to get ahead. I tell you what, whenever you're ready, we got about 2 minutes before we got to jump into dumbass. So
all right, well, yeah,
I'll let you transition.
I'm holding on to that one. I mean, unless we need to start right now, but I mean, not a lot of other big news is going on. Just like little fun slapstick things. Joe Biden read the teleprompter. End quote, and repeat, say it, and all that nonsense. It was funny. I mean, it's funny. you have to make fun of the other side when you make fun of one in some way, shape, or form. Because honestly, I feel like we aren't in the right spot in any hand right now.
Yeah.
So, but I think I'm just gonna hop right into my dumbass of the week. because it can have a little bit of a wind up.
You know what? You know, it's a good segue into what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I think I can have a really good wind up into this. So I am a hip hop head. I do like listening to rap music, and Chief Keef is one of my favorite artists. And he posted a picture. I forgot the woman's name. What was her name again? Remind me.
Laura Ingraham.
Laura Ingraham, thank you. I don't watch news, so I really don't know her face, but she looks like a crazy person. But Miss Laura Ingraham had a segment about marijuana psychosis and how it's causing these mass shootings. How these men are going crazy from smoking pot and shooting their grandmothers in the face and going and shooting up schools because their psychology is gone from their weed. And man, so she gets the trophy of dumbass of the week for me. But shout out to Chief Keef for the title. Somebody tell this tramp I don't shoot schools up, and that's exactly that. Chief Keef, Chief Keef, Chiefs, and
it's in the name. Why you even gotta ask?
Oh man,
if you gotta ask, you don't need to know.
No, you don't need to know. But anyways, she's a dumbass.
So it reminds me of a joke, man.
Yeah,
I may have told you this, but I think Lori actually told me this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get four guys together and give them beer, they're going to start a fight. When you get four guys together and give them weed, they're going to start a band.
Yeah. That's true.
Right?
It's true. A little PS to my dumbass of the week. I feel like we are in a nightmare in Arizona. If you want to watch some dumbassery, please watch the latest interview with Carrie Lake and the other Republican representatives of our lovely Arizona government, and watch how the topic of aliens comes up. So it's a good time.
Did you see Debbie Lesko talking about she would shoot her grandkids?
No.
Now, obviously, I believe she misspoke.
Oh, God.
But she did nothing to correct herself. She has not apologized for saying she would shoot her grandkids.
No.
She has not come out and said, look, this is what I meant to say.
How do you say that?
She's stupid.
Yeah.
And she's running unopposed.
There needs to be a moment to where...
I got my ballot.
Yeah.
She's running unopposed.
There's
nobody running against her.
Somebody run, please.
So Miss Piggy will still be our representative here.
That's insane. Miss Piggy. No, man, I just... we have so many people representing us that shouldn't be. And it drives me up the wall. It really does. But yeah, that's the Arizona Republicans right now. So go check out that interview.
Crazy here. If you live in Arizona, please vote Democrat just so these crazy people won't get in office.
I don't want to put my girlfriend in the same perspective, but she thought it was hilarious. Like a literal quote unquote Italian woman saying "Mamma Mia" is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
I mean, who really does that appeal to?
Nobody.
You say "Mamma Mia." How does that affect
like
Social
Mario?
Security? How does it affect the person next door to me that lives with Medicaid?
I think that's just how they expect people to react. Like that's like Mario or some. I don't know, dude. That's
stupid.
Dumb, bro. That's like me actually going on like. No, I'm not even gonna get in those shoes. Forget that.
Right?
Like, you go ahead, man. You go ahead.
My dumbass of the week is Jerome Davis.
All right.
He's a Republican running for Congress in the state of Arizona. I don't know what district because I just got turned off to him immediately when I saw the campaign ad he came out with. Now, he's sitting in his kitchen, drinking a cup of coffee, wearing a suit and tie. Right? And he's talking about people say that you don't need to have an AR-15 or 30 rounds. It doesn't belong in, civilization, right? Mm-hmm. And then the ad shows a bunch of Ku Klux Klan members running across his yard with like tiki torches and stuff, right? And then the next video says, shows him holding his AR-15 looking out the window. And she says, I just may have to use this when you see Democrats, dressed in Klan garb coming for you.
What?
And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm sorry. I hope I don't offend anyone, but you don't get much more of a house nigga than that.
No,
you really don't. I mean, number one, this is 2022. This is when you're running, not 100 years ago.
No,
we're talking right now.
What? No,
you won't find one Democrat that is a member of the Ku Klux Klan. It is fucking impossible, and you're a dumbass.
That's so crazy.
Thinking that you can get away with that. But he's also an ex-football player. He probably played without a helmet too because that is just the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard.
That is so insane. Like I'm gonna promote gun violence.
Right?
Didn't we give an award?
It's okay to shoot Democrats.
Didn't we give an award out to somebody last week for doing that shit?
Man, they're coming. They're saying the quiet part out loud now. I'm gonna get my AR-15 and shoot Democrats.
Which again, wasn't it the same weapon that was used? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, same weapon.
Same weapon used in Boston. Same weapon used in Uvalde. Same weapon used in Highland Park. Same weapon. I mean, the list goes on.
I need it for my human hunting, is what the Republicans should be saying, instead of hunting.
We've already had that conversation, but let us know what you think, guys. Please, I'm terrible at this. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up for the like.
And if you would like to know when we go live, you maybe left. Hit the bell for the live notifications whenever we go live. Honestly, try to tune in at 6 o'clock. What is it, PST or Mountain Time, whatever it is out here.
6 o'clock out here, Mountain Time.
Yeah, check that out. It helps out because I don't think the notification goes out on time, in a timely manner. But check us out on Twitter too. Let us know what topics you want to talk about so we can get some more conversation out there. Because we want to reach out to you guys and let us know that you're there. I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
This is Hanging with Uncle.
We'll see you next week.